The history of the great African kingdom spans centuries and showcases the rich political, cultural, and economic legacy of the continent. Here's an overview of some of the most prominent African kingdoms and empires. Number 1. Ancient Egypt, circa 3100 BCE, 30 BCE, location in northeastern Africa, along the Nile River. One of the earliest and most influential civilizations. Achievements in writing, hieroglyphics, architecture, pyramids, and governance. Ruled by powerful pharaohs and developed complex religion and art. Number 2. Kingdom of Kush, circa 1070 BCE, 350 CE, location in Nubia, modern-day Sudan. Known for its powerful queens and pyramids. At times ruled Egypt as the 25th dynasty. Flourished in iron smelting and trade with the Mediterranean and Africa. Number 3. Carthaginian Empire, c. 814 BCE, 146 BCE, location, North Africa, modern-day Tunisia. A major power in the Mediterranean. Famous for its rivalry with Rome, Punic Wars, and military leader Hannibal. A hub of trade and maritime prowess. Number 4. Kingdom of Aksum, c. 100 BCE, 960 CE, location, modern Inde, Ethiopia and Eritrea. One of the great trading empires of antiquity. Among the first major empires to adopt Christianity, 4th century CE. Known for monumental obelisks and coinage. Number 5. Ghana Empire, c. 300 CE, 1200 CE, location, West Africa, modern-day Mali and Mauritania. Controlled trade routes across the Sahara. Wealth based on gold and salt trade. Known for powerful kings and sophisticated bureaucracy. Number 6. Mali Empire, circa 1235, 1600 CE, location in West Africa. Rose after the fall of Ghana. Mansa Musa, its most famous ruler, was one of the richest men in history. Timbuktu became a center of learning, culture, and Islamic scholarship. Number 7. Songhai Empire, circa 1430, 1591 CE, location, West Africa. Successor to the Mali Empire. Controlled a vast territory and trade networks. Gao and Timbuktu thrived under its rule. Declined after a Moroccan invasion. Number 8. Kingdom of Benin, circa 1180, 1897 CE. Location, present-day Nigeria. Known for advanced governance and sophisticated urban planning. Produced renowned bronze and ivory artwork. Fell to British colonial forces in the 19th century. Number 9. Great Zimbabwe, circa 1100, 1450 CE, location, southeastern Africa, modern-day Zimbabwe. Famous for massive stone structures, great enclosure. A center of gold trade with the Swahili coast and beyond. Possibly linked to the Kingdom of Matapa. Number 10. Kingdom of Congo, circa 1390, 1914 CE, location in Central Africa, Angola and Congo. Known for early contact with the Portuguese. Adopted Christianity and had a complex administrative system. Eventually weakened by European influence and internal strife. Number 11. Zulu Kingdom, 1816 to 1897 CE, location, Southern Africa. Founded by Shaka Zulu, a military genius. Known for its disciplined army and resistance to colonial invasion. Fell under British control after the Anglo-Zulu War. These kingdoms and empires illustrate Africa's historical richness, long before colonialism. They played key roles in global trade, science, religion, and politics. Number 12. Swahili city-states, circa 1000, 1500 CE, location, East African coast, modern-day Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique, is known for a network of prosperous trading cities like Kilwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar. Engaged in Indian Ocean trade with Arabs, Persians, Indians, and Chinese. Blended African, Arab, and Islamic cultures, giving rise to the Swahili language. Known for coral stone architecture and luxury goods, ivory, gold, spices. Number 13. Kingdom of Aksum successors, Zagwe and Solomonic dynasties, 900s, 1974 CE. Location, Ethiopia. Known for. The Zagwe dynasty is known for the rock-hewn churches of Lalibela. The Solomonic dynasty claimed descent from King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Ethiopia remained largely independent throughout history, resisting colonization, except Italian occupation, 1936–41. Maintained strong Christian traditions alongside unique cultural developments. Number 14. Kanem-Bornu Empire, c. 700 to 1893 CE. Location in Central and West Africa, modern-day Chad, Nigeria, Niger. Known for one of the longest-lasting empires in African history. Strong Islamic influence and ties with North African trade. Well-organized military and administration. Eventually absorbed into colonial territories by the French. Number 15. Mossi Kingdoms, c. 1100s, 1896 CE. Location, modern-day Burkina Faso. Known for a collection of powerful kingdoms that resisted both Islamic and European domination. Known for horseback warriors and resilient political systems. Maintained cultural autonomy despite regional pressure. Number 16. Mutapa Empire, circa 1450–1629 CE. Location, Southern Africa, Zimbabwe and Mozambique. Highlights. Succeeded Great Zimbabwe in controlling trade routes and gold mines. Engaged with Portuguese explorers and traders. Declined due to internal strife and European interference. Number 17. Luba and Lunda Empires, c. 1500s, 1800 CE. Location, Central Africa, Congo region. Known for centralized political systems and sacred kingship. Luba Empire was rich in copper and iron resources. Lunda Empire expanded influence through alliances and trade. Played a major role in the spread of Bantu languages and cultures. Number 18. Ashanti Empire, circa 1670–1902 CE. Location, modern-day Ghana. Known for a powerful state known for military strength and resistance to British colonization. Produced significant gold wealth, part of the Gold Coast. Practiced an advanced bureaucratic system and had a rich oral tradition. Eventually absorbed into British territory after the Anglo-Ashanti Wars. Number 19. Fulani Empire/Sokoto Caliphate, 1804–1903 CE. Location, West Africa, modern Nigeria and neighboring countries. Known for founded during a jihad led by Usman Dan Fodio. One of the largest and most organized Islamic empires in Africa. Established a federation of emirates with Islamic law and education. Overthrown by British colonial forces in the early 20th century. Number 20. Dahomey Kingdom, circa 1600–1904 CE. Location, present-day Benin. Is known for its elite all-female military regiment, the Dahomey Amazons. Strong centralized monarchy and religious traditions. Actively engaged in the Atlantic slave trade. Conquered by the French during colonial expansion. These kingdoms and empires represent just a fraction of Africa's vast and diverse political history. Long before colonization, African civilizations had thriving cities, complex governments, vast trade networks, and rich cultural traditions. Legacy and cultural influence of African kingdoms. Number 1. Architecture and urban planning. Many African kingdoms built impressive cities and monuments long before European contact. Great Zimbabwe's stone structures reflect sophisticated engineering and political power. The rock-hewn churches of Lalibela in Ethiopia show the blending of faith, artistry, and architecture. The Benin Kingdom left behind magnificent palaces and city walls, with some of its art now housed in major museums around the world. Number 2. Art and craftsmanship. African kingdoms produced world-renowned art. Benin bronzes are intricate sculptures depicting court life, warfare, and mythology. Ashanti gold work and Kent cloth remain symbols of African pride and identity. In Mali, ancient manuscripts from Timbuktu preserve knowledge on astronomy, medicine, and Islamic law. Number 3. Trade and economic systems. These empires were part of vast trade networks that linked Africa to Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. Gold, salt, ivory, textiles, and enslaved people were key commodities. Cities like Timbuktu, Kilwa, and Gao were hubs of commerce, education, and religion. Number 3. Trade and economic systems. These empires were part of vast trade networks that linked Africa to Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. Gold, salt, ivory, textiles, and enslaved people were key commodities. Cities like Timbuktu, Kilwa, and Gao were hubs of commerce, education, and religion. Number 4. Religion and philosophy. African civilizations had diverse religious systems. Indigenous spiritual traditions focused on nature, ancestors, and community. Islam spread through trade and conquest, leading to the rise of Islamic centers like Sokoto and Timbuktu. Christianity thrived in Ethiopia, making it one of the oldest Christian nations in the world. Number 5. Governance and diplomacy. African kingdoms had advanced political structures, often balancing hereditary monarchy with councils of elders or advisors. The Mali Empire had a system of provinces and vassal states under imperial rule. The Congo Kingdom maintained diplomatic relations with Portugal, including written correspondence between kings. Impact of European colonization. From the late 15th century onward, European powers began encroaching on African territories, initially through trade, especially in enslaved people, then through military conquest. Many African kingdoms resisted but were eventually weakened by internal divisions, technological disadvantages in warfare, exploitation by colonial powers. By the late 1800s, most African territories were under European control, leading to the loss of sovereignty, cultural suppression, and economic exploitation. However, the legacy of African kingdoms lived on, in oral traditions, proverbs, and storytelling, through resistance movements and national pride, in the modern borders and ethnic identities of African countries. Revival and recognition today. In recent decades, there's been growing interest in celebrating and studying Africa's imperial history. Museums and scholars are working to reclaim looted artifacts, like the Benin bronzes. Universities in Africa and abroad are expanding research on pre-colonial African history. Films, books, and documentaries are bringing attention to the great African civilizations and their heroes. African nations themselves continue to draw inspiration from this rich history as they build post-colonial identities.